Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Behind the 8 ball again today. Filming this video, it's like 2:30 on a Saturday. I can't get caught up. I've been cleaning the shop up a bunch, trying to get stuff organized, answering a bunch of emails, going over a bunch of stuff, and I've been a little bit behind on the videos, but I'm gonna get this one out to you on Saturday. You're gonna have another one Sunday, and hope to be back on schedule for Monday. What we're talking about in today's video is very important to you guys at home. You guys know we have this giveaway coming up. It's not going to be the next giveaway. The next giveaway is going to be the LS Nasty Experience, which we're getting all the details finalized for it before we get rolling with it. But it's going to be a kind of like a trip giveaway. So the winner is going to come down, fly down here to LS Nasty, hang out with us, hang out in the shop a little bit. You're gonna take you to the track. You get to ride in one of the cars. I'll drive, you ride shotgun, and make a pass, like 4-second pass. So for those of you guys out there that watch, that don't understand, we're like, man, this thing went a 490, that's pretty quick. You guys are going to be able to experience that. Whether it's a 490, a 450, I don't think it's going to be like a 430. I'd say in that 450 to 490 range, riding shotgun is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So you have the ability to do that, and then we're going to try to line it up where we can do that, and then you can hang out with us at the race, be part of the crew, and hang out with us. So I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. All the details for that giveaway are going to be coming out, I'd say, within the next couple weeks or so. But we're working on probably the biggest, bestest, most grandest giveaway yet, which is the 50 chance giveaway. The first one that we're doing a complete ground up build. All the other giveaways that we've done have been, we buy a project, we just put our little twist on it, fix it up a little bit, fix a couple things, add a couple things to it, make it badass, and pow, give it away to you. But 50 chance we are doing from the ground up. And it really presented an absolutely awesome marketing opportunity that a bunch of companies have jumped on board with to showcase their product, make the build better, and then for you guys, the end product that you guys win is going to be just absolutely insane. Better than I ever could have thought of. So let's get talking about power plant and power adder. Obviously, we're gonna stick with the turbo. I'd say I'm pretty much a turbo guy. I'm building one blower car here, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turbo cars. So definitely turbo guys. How the turbo works, I'm kind of gonna try to explain a little bit on how setup and configuration and everything works, just so you guys at home understand, and really try to make it as simple as possible. So if you guys are looking for an action-packed video, I'm sorry, it's not it. But if you are doing a build at home and you're like, man, I don't know what turbo to do, I don't really know what to do with my setup, I think this could be a pretty cool video. Because we just went through this with 50 chance. What turbo setup, what engine combination are we going to run? They have to work good together. If you have badass motor and not enough turbo, it's not really going to make enough power. If you have absolutely badass turbo and not enough motor, you can run some issues there. So originally we were going to try to do a stock bottom end 4-second pass, which now where we're at now probably wasn't the best idea, because obviously I want to give you guys a vehicle that you could hop in, you can go out there and race, you can drive around and have fun with. A stock bottom end LS can make a lot of power. Its lifespan is extremely short, so a lot of fun, little life. You can have more fun with it when you make less power, but everyone knows when you got badass turbo car, you want to go out there and make some freaking power. So Kevin's like, listen, not gonna let you do that. Let's get a Black Sheep Stage 1 package together. And I was like, hey, I got a set of rods here. Do you want to run these aluminum rods? Which is like a Black Sheep Stage 1 race edition, you guys can call it. Because the aluminum rods truly are badass. They're the same rod, literally the identical rod that I run in the Black Sheep, run in the Colorado stock block motor, run in this motor. They are the exact same rod, part number and everything. So it's sick. I mean, it's just an absolutely awesome engine combination that we're getting put together. Badass 4-stroke crank. It's going in a 6-liter block. A custom Wiseco TKM Black Sheep Edition piston set going in there. Upgraded wrist pins, and then the aluminum rods. It is going to be a stout motor. 1,500 horsepower, easy. Easy 1,500 horsepower motor. So then we get talking about, the turbo setup. What turbo are we going to run with it? The way these turbo combinations work here, this one right here I got is actually the turbo that's going to be on 50 chance. Shout out to Jose at Force Inductions for hooking it up with this. But the way the turbos work is the turbo is going to make the power. The motor's going to hang on. So when you're doing an engine build, when you're putting everything together, you need to make a very, very badass motor to handle the badass turbo. You can't have a badass turbo in a little weak motor because the turbo is going to break its back. Spinal. Done. Spinal.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
my back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or
well,
what portion?
Spinal.
So this turbo right here is a TDI Bi-Force Inductions 88-103. Absolutely sick turbo. This thing is budget. It's great. Makes a ton of power. I'd say for the combination that we have with the Black Sheep Stage 1, this might be we might be a little under turboed slightly, but this turbo with that engine combination is proven. Justin Swanstrom had the same exact setup, where actually the engine that we're going to have is going to be, I'd say, one step above, because we're going to run a set of aftermarket heads with it, which I didn't talk to you guys about, and the rods are better. So I think we could step up with the turbo to like a true forced inductions unit, like a forced inductions 94. But being that something I'm going to give away to you guys, I don't want to like work the motor super hard. Any motor that you build, if you're going to run it full tilt, its lifespan is going to be shortened. So this turbo right here, you're going to be able to pin the gate shut, make all the boost, all the power this turbo will make, and the motor's not going to be sweating it. So this thing right here, S400 chassis, it's sick. It's a good turbo. It's got the upgraded larger backside, and that's where you're going to get a little bit more horsepower. A lot of them have like that 96 backside. This is that 103 backside. You guys just saw us make the change on the Black Sheep with that 98. Same exact 98 compressor wheel, but the backside on that's much bigger, and like the car didn't even want to do a burnout. I mean, the backside is where your power's at. The compressor wheel, obviously you can pick up some power by having, you know, a more updated design, but Forced Inductions, Jose and all the guys over at TDI, they make absolutely killer wheels. So this has a custom wheel in it. It's sick. You can see why this turbo is nice. It comes with a V-banded outlet, which is super nice. This build right here, it's going to have no silicone couplers. Really, where we're at now, nothing has silicone couplers. It'll have a Wiggins style clamp on one side and a V-band on the other. So this is already set up for the V-band. So you don't have to worry about boost leaks. You don't have to worry about a boot coming off or anything like that. And then we also have, from Parker Speed, JR over there, he sent us one of his billet flanges. So this is a billet T6 flange, divided housing, goes perfect with this, bolts right up. And the thing that is super nice about these is they're countersunk. You could choose your diameter. This one we went with 2.5 inch. So 3 inch would have worked. If we were running methanol, I'd definitely say 3 inch, but we're going to be on E85. And, you know, like I said, we're not going to be, you know, we don't have a 427. It's going to be 408, which is still pretty healthy size. But we don't have a 98 or 106 millimeter turbo. So I think that the air velocity is probably going to be a little bit better than the volume, especially for street driving, because, you know, an 88 millimeter turbo is still kind of a big turbo, especially with that 103, and having a little bit smaller diameter tubing, I think it's going to really help. It's going to be a lot more fun driving around the street. But these are worth their weight in gold, because you stick the tube right in there and then you weld around it. You don't have to try to like put, you know, 2 round tubes into a square hole. So this combination, and this came with all the studs and hardware to put it on. So this combination here is going to be absolutely sick. So when you're building a turbo kit build engine combination, realize when you're looking at turbos, you know, it's really tough to beat a Forced Inductions turbo. You can call Jose and he'll spec you out exactly what you need. If you want to keep it a little more budget from that, hit him up, and their TDI line of turbos is going to be the way to go. But just know that they have to work together, the engine and the turbo. So if you're going to put a 2,000 plus horsepower turbo on your stock bottom end motor, the motor will try to spin that turbo, and the turbo will try to make that power. But once that power starts going through those rods and through that crank and into the transmission, it's like, oh shit, you start bending rods, breaking rods, and doing all that stuff. The first Black Sheep motor that we had, we did not have a badass rod. We had just like a Cali's I-beam rod in there, not an Enforcer, not a billet rod. And we turned the turbo up. We turned that Forced Inductions 98 up, and it just bent the rods. It literally just, the rods just bent. I mean, it's going to find the weak point. So when you're building these engine combinations, you know, we got a bunch of badass 98s, but we got a bunch of badass motors that can handle the power. So when you're doing your combination, you got to build the motor to take the beating from the turbo. The turbo is going to dictate how much power you make. So you guys are getting an absolutely sick combination. As far as headers wise, we're going to move the steering column, and we're going to put a set of Flotex on there. So it's going to have great flow. It's going to make great power. You got a great turbo. Engine's going to be absolutely insane. It's LS3 port or the head, so it's going to make plenty of top end power too. I think this truck is going to go well into the 4s, and then to give it away to someone, drive around on the street, it's going to be absolutely sick. So there you go. That's your engine combination deal. Super stoked about this. Can't wait. Yeah, so that's going to wrap today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe. Tomorrow we're going to do some work. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.
He gets to buy this round. John Doc got to buy this round. The black sheep on the property. He got to buy for the next round.